Hey, what's going on, guys? This is xIgnight, and welcome back to Whose Take? Rabid definitely left us off with quite an interesting little string of questions. I believe there were like 40 of them or something like that. It was crazy how many questions he answered. But I'm gonna get going on this list because we got a lot to go. So, first one, how are you really? Not too bad, a little stressed with school, but it is what it is. I just gotta push through and get things done. What are you thinking about? Right now, I'm thinking about YouTube, the new channel background. Let me know what you guys think about that. And also my dogs. I'm hoping they don't kind of screw up this commentary because I just let them outside, so they might be barking to try to come in when they're ready. So if anything like that happens, then you know why. Okay, next one. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. So, kind of opposite of Rabid. I think blue and red are kind of the two that you see as like opposite colors. What's your favorite food? Boneless wings with honey barbecue sauce. Those are so tasty. If you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, if you guys have that, I don't know how widespread Buffalo Wild Wings is, but anywhere that sells boneless wings with honey barbecue sauce or just barbecue sauce in general is delicious. And if you haven't tried it, you definitely should. Favorite dessert is fondue, like melted chocolate with like dip in strawberries and bananas and shortbread cake and all sorts of stuff in it. It's delicious. What did you learn today? I learned that calculus is hard. If you guys get the chance to take calculus before you go to college, definitely do it, because I ended up taking statistics my senior year of high school versus calculus, and I'm in calculus now and it's kicking my butt. So definitely take calculus and then kind of repeat it in college, because then you already have some background knowledge and that's always good. Next, what is your favorite subject? Mine is actually, right now it's anthropology, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's kind of the study of how humans evolved. I mean, it's interesting right now. That's why I'm saying right now that's probably my favorite subject. It's changed throughout the years, but as of right now, that's my favorite subject. I'm kind of big into like fossils and things like that. Next question, what do you do? I would kind of agree with Rabid and say I go to school, but I also do YouTube, which is awesome. It's fun. I kind of took random notes. I kind of answered these questions on my own without writing down the questions, so I'm kind of trying to think of them off the top of my head. But the next one was, like, what is, like, your favorite book that you've read recently or something like that? And my answer to that is I don't really read. So I haven't really read all that many books other than ones that they assigned in school. So I don't read just for fun. It's not my thing. Favorite movie so far? Avatar. Rabid's probably shaking his head right now, but Avatar was definitely one of my most favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. And then another one recently, I think it's People Like Us. I think that's what it's called. It's a really inspirational movie, and if you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. I love that movie. Next question is, like, your favorite kind of music, and for me, it all depends on my mood, but for the most part, it's everything except like rap, screamo, and kind of things like that. I'm not really big into those. I like country, rock, alternative, some hip-hop, all that sort of stuff, but nothing really like rap or screamo. Those aren't really my thing. Next is, what would you title a book, and what would it be about? So if you were to write a book, what would you name it, and what would it be about? And I think mine would be titled like Taking on Life, and it would be about like the different challenges in life, from relationships to losing friends to, I guess, even losing family members, things like that. All the different challenges that you face in life or may face at some point in your life. Not everybody faces the same challenges, of course, but things along those lines. Next question is, what is the scariest thing you've done? Scariest thing I've done is ziplining. Kind of goes against all common sense to just like walk off the side of a cliff. That's not really something you would generally think to do, but it was fun nonetheless. If you haven't tried ziplining and you get the opportunity, you should do it, because it is definitely fun. Where is it? Greatest achievement so far for me, I would have to say, it's kind of a lame answer I guess, but I would say graduating high school and going to college. It's kind of a big deal. Making it through high school in itself isn't necessarily the easiest thing. It's definitely easier than making it through college, which is my next step. But it's not the easiest thing to do. You can't just skate through it, really. But that, and then actually getting accepted into college is pretty exciting. It's a good goal to have accomplished. Next question, are you married? No. And then there's kind of a string of questions right here that were not applicable to either of us. So the next question is, what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were younger? Like, what did you want to be? And I actually wanted to be what I thought was an archaeologist, but it turns out it's more of an anthropologist just because I like fossils, like I said earlier. I have a big thing for fossils, and I actually have some, like, dinosaur bones. They're freaking sweet. One of them is probably the size of your hand. I'm just gonna guess that you guys have fairly big hands. I mean, it's not that big, but just on average, it's probably about the size of your hand, like if you put your hand in a fist. So that's pretty awesome. Next question, how did you get into your career? And again, I don't really have a career. I guess YouTube would kind of be considered my career for now. I mean, it's not really a career, but I guess that would be the closest thing I have, and I just enjoy making videos, and I kind of enjoy talking, which is kind of an oxymoron. I think that's the term when... I don't know. I'll kind of explain that later. What do you do for fun? I play video games, hang out with friends, and make videos. So that's kind of a straightforward answer. Do you like traveling? And I love traveling. Mostly to like tropical places for the beach scene. I think beaches are one of the best sceneries. So are mountains though, but I kind of take those for granted since I live in Colorado and we have the Rocky Mountains right here, so I mean those are always nice also, but I like the beach scene more. I really just like the sound of running water. So like ocean waves splashing on the rocks, all that good stuff. That might sound cheesy, but next question. If you could visit any country in the world, what would it be? And I would have to say New Zealand, just because it's a little island and it sounds cool. My grandparents went there and they said it was really nice. If you could meet anybody in the world, who would it be? And as Rabid said, I'd love to meet YouTubers as well. People like Syndicate, T-Mart, Woody's Gamertag, iFlyIllini, just the big YouTubers out there. I just think that would be kind of cool to meet up with them, talk to them, ask questions, all that good stuff. If you could give one piece of advice to anyone, it was something along these lines, and what would it be? And mine would be stay happy, stay confident. That's kind of my motto. It's difficult at times, but life is a lot easier lived happy, and you will enjoy it much more if you're happy with who you are and what you're doing. So don't let the, don't let the struggles bring you down, just push through them. Favorite habits? I don't know if there's really a favorite, but I crack my knuckles a lot. So that's all I could think of for that. Next question, what makes you happy? Comments do, like positive comments, subscribers do, and respect in general, just kind of like I talked about this in my pet peeves video. When I let somebody in when I'm driving and they give me the wave, that kind of thing makes me happy. It kind of brightens my day. What makes you sad? Dislikes, negative comments, just negative things in general in life, which is kind of a broad answer, but oh, there's my dog barking. It's kind of a broad answer, but it is what it is. Things that scare you? Meeting new people does. That's one thing that I'm not too great at, but it is what it is. I can. It's just not one of the things that I'm most comfortable with. Do you plan things out in detail? I mostly do things spontaneously, but plan sometimes. Kind of the same answer as Rabid. Are you religious? No, I'm more neutral in that. I kind of like to stay away from the whole religious debates that go on, so I stay neutral. If you go back in history, I would like to meet Martin Luther King. I think just because he followed his dreams, as his speech says, and he really stuck to it. He had a strong determination to get what he wanted to get done. So that was nice, and my dog's barking again. That might get really annoying. Next question. I'd rather live... The question is, would you rather live in a city or country? And I think I'd rather live in the city just because I'm more interested in technology and that side of life. I mean, living in the country would be nice for the simple things, but I'm more interested in computers and all of that stuff. What was your life like growing up? It was kind of like Rabid's answer, an average middle-class life in America, that sort of a thing. If you don't really know about that, then we can also talk about that later, like he had mentioned. What were you like in high school? Outside of school, I was more reserved. And in school, in school I could talk to people, as I get the final kill cam right here, in school, I talked to pretty much most of the people in my class. My class being like my senior class. But outside of school, I kind of avoided all of that stuff. Do you have any siblings? I have one brother. He's 5 years older than me, so he's 23. Favorite part of today was finishing class at noon, and then just like having the rest of the day off to get the stuff I need to get done. And then here comes the next game. We'll see how long this lasts. I kind of rushed through those questions. I tried to finish them all within that one game, but I could not do that, and my dog's barking again. But let's kind of end this one. This is going to be my question for Rabid, which was the question he actually asked at the end of his video, is who influenced you the most in your life and how? And this is going to be his topic, so Rabid, who influenced your life the most and how? And this will be kind of my topic for today. My biggest influence in life growing up was probably my brother. We have a pretty unique relationship in the fact that we rarely fight, and that's really nice. Not a whole lot of siblings can say that. I know I have a couple friends that are twins, and they bicker and nag constantly, and it gets kind of awkward when you're hanging out with the both of them and they get into a fight, so that's always fun. But my brother and I have a pretty unique relationship in the fact that we don't fight, and my dog is barking more and more, so I might have to go let him in and come back and finish this, but we'll see. If he starts barking more, then I'll do that, but as of right now I'm going to keep going. So, yeah, my brother and I have a unique relationship. Triple C4 right there, boom! And actually right here I could not back up from my teammate. But anyways, my brother has influenced me a lot in the sense that he's kind of taught me a lot of life lessons. I can't really think of a whole lot of them specifically, but he's kind of been there when I go through hard times for me to talk to, like through relationships, through hard points in school, through like dealing with struggles with anything really, like family issues, all that sort of stuff. But he's kind of been there to give me advice and say, hey, this is sort of what happens in life, this is how you deal with it, so that's pretty much all you can do. And it's been nice. More recently though, he's been really involved in theater. That's what he majored in college, was theater. So he hasn't been around a whole lot. So actually my mom and I are getting really close, which is really nice. It's not a bad thing at all. I don't mean to try to make that sound negative if it did. My dad's actually in Florida right now. He's going to school, just like me, to become a pilot though, not a computer scientist. So totally different, but my family in general has influenced me a lot, but probably my brother mostly. And he's just kind of been there. He's been my shoulder to lean on through, like I said, pretty much all the hard times I can think of in life. And it's just been nice having that person that you can go to. I mean, even right now with him being so involved in theater, if I needed something, I could go to him and kind of ask for help. And that's always a nice like little reassurance to have. I mean, not a whole lot of people have a set person that they can talk to about anything and feel comfortable that they're not going to share this information with anyone. So it's been really nice growing up with my brother. When I was in middle school, I kind of went through this craze where I was so shy that it was mostly towards girls. I was so shy that I couldn't look a girl in the eyes like talking to them without my eyes just completely watering up, which was super embarrassing. I hated it, but it was just who I was. And it was even harder then because in middle school I was kind of the go-to guy for advice when the girls were having my middle school had like 56 kids in it, and about, I don't know, 12 to 16 of them were girls, so the majority of them were guys. So the girls, I'm just gonna say there were 12 of them. That might be accurate, I don't know, but say there were 12. They kind of split into different groups, like 6v6. It was kind of like a team deathmatch game with the girls all fighting over one guy, which was, I don't know, it was kind of annoying in the sense that no other guy had a chance to even date him, which in middle school was not a huge priority, but it was still on our minds. I mean, we're guys growing up, going through puberty, all that good stuff. So it was kind of like a 6v6 team deathmatch game, but they weren't going for a win, they were going for one guy. And I guess it would be similar to a free-for-all, so because only one girl could get him. But kind of relating this to Call of Duty, which seems so nerdy, but I was the go-to guy for advice when things would go wrong. Like, girls would come up to me with like petty little problems. They'd be like, yeah, he's not even talking to me, or oh, he's talking to this other girl. Things like that, which was, at the time, I don't know, it didn't seem all that petty to me. It seemed like a normal issue, which was fine. So I was, like I've been saying, I was the go-to guy for advice for that. So I talked to pretty much all of them, and you would kind of think that that means that I was kind of the outgoing guy who could do anything, talk to any of the girls or whatever, but I really was the complete opposite. When they would, I usually helped them like over texting in the afternoon, like after school, because during school they were all doing their little battle thing where they were fighting for this guy. So it was usually after school when I would talk to them, but there were a couple times where they would come up to me like before class or during class and be like, hey Zach, hey Zach, that's... Oh, if you guys didn't know, my name's Zach. Just to get that out there. I totally didn't even think about that, but they wouldn't come up to me like, hey xIgnight, can you help me with this? No. They'd be like, hey Zach, could you help me? Oh my goodness, my dog. And I would be like, oh yeah, sure. And they would tell me their story, and when I would try to give advice, I would have to keep like looking down or looking away from them, like not making eye contact, because my eyes would keep watering, and I got so embarrassed. And I mean, like, my internal body temperature would be extremely hot, and it made me feel like I was blushing. And I might have been, I don't know. I don't really know when I blush. Sometimes I guess it's because I just do. I mean, there have been times where people have pointed out that I'm blushing when I just feel normal, and nobody's really pointed out that I'm blushing when I'm feeling all flustered or whatever. So I don't really know when I blush, but I could have been blushing during this. I mean, I would feel roasting hot, my internal body temperature would go up, my eyes would start watering, start sweating, all that good stuff. It's not attractive. So it's kind of ironic that I was the go-to guy for advice, as well as the shy guy, which, I don't know, it was what it was. Kind of followed in my brother's footsteps with that. Not necessarily the shy thing, he's extremely outgoing, but in high school he was always the go-to guy for advice. So I kind of followed in his footsteps with that. This is kind of relating all of this story back to who most influenced me, which was my brother. And this game we lost very badly, but if you see this final kill cam, not the final kill cam, if you see the final scoreboard, I completely dominated these guys. I went 44-6, so yeah, that was a beast game. I mean, not really, we lost, but it is what it is. So Rabid, who influenced you the most and how? And until then guys, peace out.